The FFA's process of introducing an 11th and 12th A-League team for the 2019-2020 season is well underway, but years of neglect shown towards our former NSL and ethnic clubs raises an obvious question. Are there hopes of one day joining the A-League dead?
They're going to be affected, definitely.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Most definitely not.
It's a question of whether a potential investor would actually want to put that sort of money into a Heidelberg or a Melbourne Knights to help them grow.
If the A-League wants to expand and these clubs are still in existence and their infrastructure is correct financially, on and off the ground, then there should be no reason why.
Take South Melbourne, because they're obviously the ones that are putting their hands up for the A-League and seem to be the most vocal about all of this. I mean, a club like that, it divides opinions so strongly. Whether you agree or not, imagine them being in the A-League and the interest that creates. You know, if you hate the idea of South Melbourne being allowed back in the A-League, I mean, that creates interest. As long as it's not detrimental and turns people away, I think, you know, that sort of controversy potentially is a good thing.
I don't think a club that has been in the old National League now to come into the A-League should be an issue with regards to their name, their background. I don't think it should be an issue.
I mean, Brisbane's an interesting one because we've got a Brisbane City who are Italian background, and you've got the Lions, who used to be Hollandia, the Dutch, and Brisbane Olympic, obviously Greek as well. I've played for a couple of those clubs, and I didn't even know that they had that background while I was playing there.
I honestly think that the clubs that don't have the infrastructure, such as a Melbourne Knights or a Heidelberg, that can compete with these new groups such as the Western Melbourne group and Team 11, are going to struggle.
Well, obviously it all comes down to finance. Do they have the finance as in sponsorship? Obviously the councils or the Victorian government will be backing these projects. It's all going to unfold obviously after the first 12, 24 to 36 months. But that'll be, once again, that'll be up to FFA to decide. They'll know the financial side of things, if they can survive.
My opinion is it shouldn't matter whether they're an ex-NSL club, you know, whether they're an existing NPL club, whether they're a new franchise, any of that. It's based on meritocracy. You know, if you want to be in the A-League in the top, you need to earn it and kind of prove that you have that ambition. You're willing to invest in your facilities and all the things that go with being a top-level club. I don't think that should be, you know, hand-picked by a couple of, you know, board members based on a couple of metrics that we don't even really get to know what they are. You know, it's to me, it's not very transparent, and that leads to, it doesn't matter who they pick out of those clubs, the ones that don't get in are going to feel hard done by, and there's going to be people that distrust the whole process. So to me, it comes back to open it up, give the opportunity to anybody, including NSL clubs, and if they show the ambition, they earn the right, then, you know, maybe they are the best club to be in there. So I don't think it should matter, to be honest.
Well, obviously they've got stable support because they're still playing in the NPL. So obviously that's going to already bring 5,000 to 10,000 people through the door, which, if you watch the A-League, some clubs don't even pull in 5,000 people. So I don't think that should be an issue for a club like South Melbourne or another club from another state that have been in the old NPL, because they do have existing support. And obviously from those areas, there'll be people who love the game that will go and support it.
There is a future for them, I think, at a state league level. Whether they can get to an A-League level, it's going to come down to mainly financial backing. If they can get a few more investors, it'll be interesting to see what happens, I believe. But they're not necessarily dead, but playing at the top division certainly will be providing its challenges. But you never know once A-League and promotion and relegation really comes into it.
Any club, including the ex-NSL club, should have a path to show that they can or earn their way back into the A-League or into the top flight.